The following is a paid program for My Best Heart, brought to you by Integrated Wellness Solutions, a proud supporter of the American Heart Association. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, I'm Brandy Williams. Welcome viewers from across the country to Heart Health TV. So how's your heart? Healthy? Not sure? Well, sadly, I can safely say that probably half of you watching right now already have cardiovascular disease, and most of you don't even know it. And even more of you watching have high blood pressure, and you might not know that either. In fact, if you're over 55, there's almost an 80% chance you have high blood pressure. That's right. And high blood pressure is no joke because it can kill you. In fact, there's an unfortunate likelihood that it will. But it's not all bad out there because I'm here to share some really good news, great news, in fact. Because with me today in studio, I've got world-renowned cardiologist Dr. Ernst von Schwarz, who claims that nearly all heart disease is preventable. The only problem is, most people don't know how to do it. On today's show, we'll be talking to the good doctor about your cardiovascular health and blood pressure. Because as Dr. Ernst explains, the number one thing you can do to maintain a healthy heart for life is get your blood pressure down into the normal healthy range and keep it that way. The doctor will show us how to do that today, naturally and at any age. So let's go meet Professor, author, longevity researcher, and heart health specialist, America's cardiologist, Dr. Ernst von Schwarz. It's great to finally meet you, Dr. Schwarz.
Thank you, Brandy. It's great to be here.
So you have a new book out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you've written a number of great books over the years, but why heart health this time?
Truth is, Brandy, I've been developing this book for a long time, but I chose to write it now because there's just so many new life-changing things we have learned in recent years about heart health and prevention, while at the same time there's so much misinformation out there too.
Misinformation?
Yes, dangerous misinformation that I felt needed to be dispelled.
Interesting. So tell me more about your book.
I believe it's one of the most comprehensive guides ever written for the non-scientists out there on cardiovascular health, with the latest developments on both heart health and longevity, including what I have learned about preventing and reversing heart disease. But most importantly, it includes an easy-to-follow program that anyone can incorporate into their life. I also intentionally scare people a bit.
Scare people?
Well, yes. My hope is that a dose of healthy fear will get people to act. But I'm not here today to scare anyone. And I'm also not here with just a message of hope. I am here with a real solution.
A solution?
Yes, on how to live a life free of heart disease, with everything you need to know, from the best diet for your heart and overall health, to the truth about blood cholesterol levels and what you eat and more. Because the reality is, half of adult Americans are walking around with cardiovascular disease. And as you pointed out earlier, 80% of older adults have high blood pressure too. And yes, the two are related. This combination is a ticking time bomb for older Americans.
I know. It's quite sobering. I have read that more people die today of heart disease than cancer. But for some reason, we talk about it less.
It's partly because cardiovascular disease takes many years to develop. That's why we call it the silent killer. But for over a decade now, heart disease has been the #1 cause of death in the US. And death by stroke is in the top 5 as well. 2 killers directly related to high blood pressure.
What can people do?
Well, here's the great news, Brandy. You don't have to be a victim.
Oh, thank you. It was all getting a bit depressing.
Most heart disease and stroke deaths are preventable.
Wow, that is great news.
I see it every day in my practice. I'll show you how to greatly lower your risk. First, by managing your blood pressure. I'm going to show you how to do it naturally and quickly, because it is the most important thing you can do to avoid heart disease, and it's not that hard.
Is that where your My Best Heart supplement comes in?
Yes. for helping to manage blood pressure to a normal range. It's a great daily supplement. I'll explain how it works in a moment, but to do that, I need to introduce a few new terms to the audience.
Well, I need to brush up on my anatomy and biology.
No, it's easy to understand, and I'll keep it primarily to just two new terms.
Okay then.
Well, the first term refers to the inner wall of your arteries, called the endothelium.
That's a new one for me.
That is where a gas called nitric oxide is released.
Okay, so that one I've heard of, but I've never quite understood it.
Well, it's your endothelium, that inner lining of the artery where nitric oxide is released, signaling your arteries, veins, and your entire circulatory system to dilate and open up. That allows your blood to flow easily, lowering your blood pressure naturally.
And My Best Heart does that?
Yes. In fact, it's backed by 8 US patents for supporting healthy nitric oxide levels that help to lower blood pressure. It's not your typical supplement.
I really want to get into how My Best Heart works in just a moment. But first, you've got so many stories from people across the country who have been using My Best Heart to help manage their blood pressure. Let's listen to a few of those right now.
I had a heart attack in my 50s. Soon after, they put stents in. It's only human nature when something like that happens to wonder why. Why me? I can tell you back then, I didn't manage my stress well at all, and I certainly did nothing to manage my blood pressure. My heart attack was a wake-up call, and I feel fortunate to have gotten a second chance. I am way more active today than I was in my 50s. And any given day, you'll catch me out in the links. And I take My Best Heart each morning, religiously. I'm not gonna waste my second chance.
High blood pressure is in my genes. When I'm not managing it well, I can even feel it. My skin gets flushed and tight, and I can get flustered or anxious. What's worse, my children worry. As I've grown older, I've gotten better about it. I even broke with cultural norms when it came to food. But still, consistently managing my blood pressure was a challenge until I found Dr. Schwarz's program with My Best Heart. It's amazing. Once you do the right things to support your arterial health, your blood pressure just comes down naturally. And the difference in how you feel, well, that's pretty amazing too.
I took up pickleball a few years ago, and I play as much as I can. I love playing with friends, but I do it for more than just fun. I don't want to end up like my father, who struggled for decades with high blood pressure and died while on a ton of meds. Unfortunately, like my dad, I have the same health issues, and it's affected more than just my heart. It's impacted my kidney health and caused pain and burning in my legs and feet. And yes, because of it, I struggle with issues in the bedroom too. So I started studying holistic health. I began exercising, I changed my diet, and most importantly, I found Dr. Schwartz's blood pressure management program. The program taught me how to support my body's nitric oxide levels, including the My Best Heart nitrate supplement for circulatory health. I think that's made the biggest difference.
I had to get my blood pressure and weight under control, or I wouldn't be around to enjoy my grandchildren. I take the My Best Heart nitrate supplement every morning and follow the doctor's tips. It's really easy, and with foods I love. I haven't felt this alive in 40 years.
Wow, sounds like My Best Heart has an incredible track record of success. We'll talk more with a good doctor when we get back, but right now, I want to give you a chance to call in and get more information on the doctor's Your Best Heart 6-Step program and the My Best Heart blood pressure support supplement. As Dr. Schwarz explained, getting your blood pressure down into the normal healthy range and keeping it there is critical to living and enjoying a long, healthy life. And with My Best Heart and his easy-to-follow program, it's easy to achieve your best heart naturally at any age. We have worked out a special arrangement. So when you do call, be sure to mention you're calling for the Heart Health TV special offer, and you'll find out how you can receive a free month supply of My Best Heart loaded with those proven endothelial support ingredients. And I've also been told that for a limited time now, we have some very nice additional free gifts today, including a copy of the doctor's new book, Your Best Heart, and program. Plus, while supplies last, the first 500 customers will also receive a free supply of their other great heart health supplement, My Best Cholesterol, for healthy cholesterol and triglyceride management support. And to make reducing salt easy, the first 500 customers will also receive a free shaker of the doctor's table salt alternative, sodium-free seasoning, aptly named My Best Salt. So, if you would like more information on how to get your free month supply of My Best Heart, the doctor's book, the My Best Cholesterol Supplement, and the great tasting salt alternative, My Best Salt, then all you have to do is pick up the phone now and give us a call. This special offer is not available in stores, so you must call now. Okay, doctor, before the break you were talking about how high blood pressure affects the heart. Can you show us what we need to be concerned about?
Of course. And I've got some great animation here to help.
Wow, great.
Now, to begin with, there are health concerns you need to worry about with high blood pressure, beyond damaging the heart and coronary arteries. You see, high blood pressure affects the entire circulatory system. There's a potential for a stroke, kidney damage, vision loss, erectile dysfunction, and more.
But for heart, is it just increased risk of heart attack?
Well, that's a big one. I'll show you how it can lead to a heart attack in a moment. But there are other ways high blood pressure can lead to heart failure. One of the biggest is something called left ventricular hypertrophy, or LVH for short. Have you heard of that?
I don't know about that one. Is it pretty common?
Oh, very. And the problem is, like many heart issues, it's often asymptomatic until it's too late. 1 in 5 people have LVH, but for people with high blood pressure, it's 40%.
Really?
Yeah, and the prevalence goes up with age, and more so for women. In fact, it's believed that half of women over 70 have LVH. And if not addressed, the end stage of LVH is heart failure.
Wait a minute, I thought you weren't going to scare us.
I'm trying not to, but the reality is people need to know what can happen if they don't get their blood pressure down.
Okay, before you do that though, you mentioned women a moment ago. Isn't heart disease mostly an issue for men?
I hear that a lot, but heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women. People tend to think breast cancer is a leading cause of death for women, but 13 times more women die of heart disease than breast cancer.
All right, you have my attention.
Now let's look at the really big one out there, coronary artery disease, from the buildup of plaque, this fatty-looking stuff on the inside of the arterial walls. This causes problems because it restricts blood flow, as you see here. And it can result in a heart attack if a chunk of that plaque breaks off, causing a blood clot.
How common is coronary artery disease?
Well, as we said earlier, it's a #1 killer in the US. Approximately 1 out of every 4 people die from coronary artery disease, including heart attacks, every year. It's how most people die, in fact, and it can come on suddenly, often without warning signs or any prior symptoms.
I had no idea. What's high blood pressure's role in heart disease?
I'm glad you asked. Let's look what happens in an artery, and you'll see just why keeping your blood pressure in the healthy range is so important.
And there's the artery.
Yes, this is where it starts, the inner wall of your arteries. This is what I'm talking about today, because the health of that inner wall determines whether you enjoy a long, healthy, vibrant life, or possibly die an early death.
From plaque buildup?
Most people think that heart attacks are caused by a gradual buildup of plaque in the arteries, but it's really not. You see, 90% of heart attacks are actually caused by a rupture of that inner arterial wall, which releases chunks of plaque, causing a blood clot to form, which cuts off blood flow to the heart. And that right there is why heart attacks happen.
Okay, that's all too clear. Let's get to the prevention part, Dr. Schwarz.
It's time for the good news, Brandy.
Finally.
If you strengthen and protect the inner lining of the arterial wall, called the endothelium, the term I mentioned earlier, then you will help prevent a plaque rupture and therefore help prevent a heart attack from occurring.
And how do I do that?
Just give the cells in your endothelial wall what they need each day, and you will not only lower your blood pressure naturally, but you will also greatly lower your risk.
Well, doctor, I intend to live a long, active life, so please explain this endothelium thing a little more to me.
The endothelium is a tiny little layer that lines on the inside of all of the arteries in your body, from your heart to your brain, head to toe. We cardiologists call it the guardian of our blood vessels. It guards those arterial walls by doing something that's actually quite magical. To keep itself healthy and your blood flowing, it creates a powerful molecule called nitric oxide.
I was wondering when we'd get to that nitric oxide part.
The nitric oxide released in your arteries does three important things, which I'll explain. But first understand, you need to fuel your endothelium. And you do that by consuming foods with something called nitrates.
Nitrates?
Yes, your body primarily produces nitric oxide from the nitrates in the food you consume. And the most nitrate-rich foods are pretty much all from plants. You see, the problem in the US is people consume far too little plant nitrates in their diet.
Okay, I follow.
It's those nitrates in your diet, Brandy, that fuel your endothelium to produce and release nitric oxide to repair and strengthen the walls of your arteries.
Okay, so then how do I get more nitrates in my diet?
There are basically two ways. You can start eating a lot of high plant nitrate greens and vegetables each day, examples of which I'll be showing you later. Or you can simply take My Best Heart each day. It's got 400 milligrams of nitrates per serving, which is the amount of dietary nitrates you need each day.
I think I'll opt for My Best Heart. Now, what does nitric oxide do exactly?
Well, number one is it signals your arteries to open up or dilate, relaxing the muscles of the arterial wall, which naturally lowers blood pressure. Next, it keeps your blood flowing smoothly by keeping the arterial linings smooth and slippery, which helps prevent the formation of those dangerous blockages.
And the third thing?
That's the prevention part. It helps prevent inflammation and plaque from further developing on the inner walls of your arteries. And over time, keeping your nitric oxide levels up can even help reverse the plaque buildup.
So if I get my nitric oxide levels right, then I'll strengthen my endothelium and make myself heart attack proof?
Well, you'll certainly be on the right track.
Okay, now what does it look like over time if your body doesn't get what it needs and you maybe produce insufficient amounts of nitric oxide?
It's not good. When you don't have enough nitric oxide, your body can enter a vicious cycle that breaks down your arterial health. And as you can see here, can lead to an eventual heart attack.
And what if you get your nitric oxide levels up before you get to that point?
That's the great news. In most cases, you can reverse this cycle and get back to more youthful looking arteries. I go into this in more detail in my book, where I have my step-by-step program to manage blood pressure, together with My Best Heart, to keep those nitric oxide levels up.
Well, that was a lot to take in. Let's take a break to give the viewers a chance to call in and get more information on the My Best Heart blood pressure supplement. And when we return, the doctor and I will be in the kitchen so you can see firsthand what he recommends in his heart healthy diet and some of the all natural ingredients that go into My Best Heart. You don't want to miss that. Now, when you call, be sure to mention you're calling for the Heart Health TV special offer, and you'll find out how you can receive a free month supply of My Best Heart loaded with those proven endothelial support ingredients. And for a limited time, we have some very nice additional free gifts today, including a copy of the doctor's book, Your Best Heart and Program. Plus, while supplies last, the first 500 customers will also receive a free supply of his other great heart health supplement, My Best Cholesterol, for healthy cholesterol and triglyceride management support. And to make reducing salt easy, the first 500 customers will also receive a free shaker of the doctor's table salt alternative sodium-free seasoning, My Best Salt. So, if you would like more information on how to get your free month supply of My Best Heart, the doctor's book, the My Best Cholesterol supplement, and the great tasting salt alternative, My Best Salt, then all you have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call now. This special offer is not available in stores, so you must call now.
They call high blood pressure the silent killer because you don't feel it until it's too late. When I measure my blood pressure, whether it's high or low, I don't feel a difference. But I've had my share of scares, so I take My Best Heart to help naturally lower my blood pressure.
I had a very high-stress career, always on the road, until it nearly ended my life. Unable to manage my stress and my blood pressure, I had to retire. My Best Heart with the doctor's program literally saved my life.
Black men and women really need to wake up. High blood pressure and diabetes are no joke. When I made the changes and I took My Best Heart, my whole circulatory system felt renewed. Everything was pumping again.
Welcome back. We are now in the kitchen talking with professor, author, cardiologist, and I guess now chef, Dr. Ernst von Schwarz.
I don't know about chef, but I do love to cook.
Well, this is quite the spread, doctor, so where should we start?
Let's start with my longevity diet guidelines. I get the same question all the time. Doc, what should I be eating for my heart and blood pressure? I go into a good deal of depth on this in the book, because heart disease and diet are definitely linked, especially if you have diabetes or other metabolic challenges.
So then what do you recommend?
I've developed a diet plan that is primarily based upon the well-studied Mediterranean diet with a few upgrades. It's all about balance, Brandy. In addition to being heart healthy, it needs to taste good and be easy, or people won't follow it. My diet includes lean proteins, healthy fats, whole grains, and lots of fruits and vegetables. But not all fruits and veggies. I'm selective. I favor the lower sugar, most nutrient-dense options.
Okay, and this is from your diet?
Yes, it's a typical meal, my Mediterranean Greek chicken. Very hot and brain-friendly. As you can see, the majority of the plate is vegetables. And I like to use olive oil and garlic in many of my dishes. And over here we got lean chicken on a bed of quinoa.
What about carbs?
The typical Mediterranean diet is higher in carbs than I like. In my diet, where I have carbs, they are fiber-rich, unrefined whole grains like quinoa.
Well, it looks great. How else do you modify the Mediterranean diet?
I also add in more high plant nitrate greens. When consumed, these foods convert to nitric oxide in the body, supporting your endothelial health and opening up those arteries to help reduce blood pressure.
So which greens are the best? Can you give us some examples?
I can do better than that. Here are my top 10 favorites, with the 10th being one of the most nitrogen-dense plants on the planet. It's over there simmering in the pot.
Well, it smells delicious.
You've got arugula, Swiss chard, green spinach, bok choy, collard greens, radishes, parsley, carrots, and of course broccoli, all very nitrate rich.
And the 10th is in the pot?
Yes, my favorite. It's a vegetable soup with something called red spinach. Give it a taste.
I like it. Thank you, doctor, for all of this. That was fun. So tell me more about red spinach, Dr. Schwarz.
It's really quite amazing stuff. It truly is the perfect blood pressure reducing superfood. Not only does it have one of the highest concentration of nitrates of any food, it's also very potassium rich, which helps counter negative effects of sodium on blood pressure.
It sounds amazing, but where can I find red spinach? I've never even heard of it.
Well, it's consumed throughout Asia, but you can also find it in My Best Heart. In fact, the potassium nitrate red spinach combination in My Best Heart gives you the healthy nitrate equivalent of 3 large heads of red spinach in each serving. All the nitrates you need to keep your nitric oxide levels high each day.
So I can get all of the nitrates I need to support my blood pressure in My Best Heart?
That's right. And it also includes what I call a deficiency blend. It's a blend of certain nutrients that most Americans are deficient in, but are essential to supporting the conversion of nitrates to nitric oxide in the body. This includes magnesium, vitamin C, iron, and folic acid in just the right amounts to help blood vessels relax, improve blood flow, and naturally lower your blood pressure.
That's great. Now, it's getting toward the end of our show, Dr. Schwarz. Do you have any parting words for our viewers?
Yes, and thank you, Brandy, for having me on the show. Don't be a victim. You can lower your blood pressure and reduce your risk of heart disease at any age and enjoy a long, vibrant life. With my Heart Health program and My Best Heart, you now have a safe and effective solution that truly works. So my question for you is, if not now, then when? It's never too early or too late to start. You owe it not only to yourself, but to your loved ones as well. Your heart and family will thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Schwarz, for being our guest today. Now, if you would like more information on My Best Heart, then pick up the phone and call the number you see on your screen. We've worked out a special arrangement, so when you do call, be sure to mention you're calling for the Heart Health TV special offer, and you'll find out how you can receive a free month supply of My Best Heart, loaded with those proven endothelial support ingredients. And for a limited time now, we have some very nice additional free gifts as well, including a copy of the doctor's book, Your Best Heart and Program. Plus, while supplies last, the first 500 customers will also receive a supply of his other great heart health supplement, My Best Cholesterol, for healthy cholesterol and triglyceride management support. And to make reducing salt easy, the first 500 customers will also receive a free shaker of the doctor's table salt alternative sodium-free seasoning, My Best Salt. So, if you would like more information on how to get your free month supply of My Best Heart, the doctor's book, the My Best Cholesterol supplement, and the great tasting salt alternative, My Best Salt, then all you have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. This special offer is not available in stores, so you must call now. This is Brandy Williams with Heart Health TV. Thank you for watching.
I didn't get serious about my blood pressure until I lost 3 close friends, all due to heart disease. The doctor's program makes it so easy. Just take My Best Heart each day and follow the tips for de-stressing and living a more heart-friendly life.
I've seen firsthand how devastating a stroke can be. So when I started having blood pressure issues, I took it seriously. I tried to be healthy, but exercise wasn't enough. I needed more. Dr. Schwartz's program helps keep my blood pressure in a healthy range naturally.
Diabetes and high blood pressure run in my family, and I'm no exception. I've lost so many close family members to this deadly combination. That's why I'm so grateful for the cardiologist program and My Best Heart. It's a godsend. It's amazing how good you feel when you give your body what it needs.
In my community, strokes and heart attacks are everywhere. No way was I gonna be a victim. I like that My Best Heart works with my body to increase nitric oxide levels, lowering my blood pressure naturally, without side effects. Anyone can do this.
I had to get my blood pressure and weight under control, or I wouldn't be around to enjoy my grandchildren. I take the My Best Heart nitrate supplement every morning and follow the doctor's tips. It's really easy, and with foods I love. I haven't felt this alive in 40 years.
I take My Best Heart each morning religiously. I'm not going to waste my second chance.
Consistently managing my blood pressure was a challenge until I found Dr. Schwartz's program with My Best Heart. It's amazing. Once you do the right things to support your arterial health, your blood pressure just comes down naturally. And the difference in how you feel, well, that's pretty amazing too.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The proceeding was a paid program for My Best Heart, brought to you by Integrated Wellness Solutions, a proud supporter of the American Heart Association.